Okay, this is sort of an introduction into a little bit of architectural drawing, and we're going to do a student multi-bedroom workshop design in a very small space. So, first thing I'm going to do is draw in a baseline to start this drawing, like so. Now, if you do any architectural drawing, you've got to learn about a scale first. So I'm going to use a scale which is kind of an odd one. I'm going to say 1 centimetre equals roughly a foot. Now, on this ruler, this here to here is a foot, which is also pretty much nearly 30 centimetres. So we can say we're going to be working at a 1 to 30 ratio, which means this will be 30 times smaller. Okay, now the reason I'm going from centimetres to foot or centimetres to 30 centimetres is in the building industry in the UK, where I'm from, England, we still use imperial measurements for building materials, like an 8x4 or 2x3, etc. These are key terms. We don't do the metric equivalent because it sounds stupid. You know, it's just 9 numbers. It's ridiculous. And in the United States, they still use the imperial system. So, 1 equals 30 centimetres. So 1 equals a foot. Now, I'm 6'4", so I'm quite tall. So I'm now going to draw a person who is about 6 foot. We don't really need to go taller than 6 foot, because the average height for a male is about 5'11" and the female slightly smaller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a scale, 1 to 30, and now we have a human just here. So we have a representation of the figure we're building the apartment for. So what I'm going to do now, using this baseline, I'm going to put in the first measurement, and the first measurement I'm going to use is going to be just getting it perpendicular to that. I'm doing all this by eye, guys, so it's only a ruler and a pencil thing, freehand drawing. But trying to keep things square as much as possible. So I can bring a line up here, and then on 15 there, I can make a mark. Now, if it's 15, and I'm on a 1 to 30 scale, 15 would give me 5 metres. Okay, so this distance from here to here is 5 metres. And this distance going this way, I'm going to make that, just to make it a slightly different size and space, I'm going to change that to I'll keep it 15. I'll make it a square, so we're working within a square. So 15 again there, and then I'm going to set up my ruler perpendicular again. Term we use for that in design and engineering is square, and then go along and mark off 15. Now I can measure from here to here, and that's slightly off 15, which means the line's not perfectly perpendicular, so I can mark that just there and then fix that line just there. So now I've got a square which is working, check it, 15, 15, 15 and 15, so that's good. Now, the building is going to have some sort of thickness, so I'm going to make the wall thickness 5mm. So I'm going to mark off on the bottom there, on the outside I'm putting the wall figures. I'm going to draw a line going that way. And then over here, and draw a line going that way. That line's a mistake, but I'm not concerned about making mistakes. I can erase that afterwards. So guys, if you make mistakes, don't worry, you can erase it. I'm working with a H pencil, good pencil to work with, but you can work with a HB. I'm going to go to there. Two lines, so I just got to check the camera's not been knocked. That's good. Okay, and then finally over here, like so. So, got my basic wall, my box that I'm going to live in, all set up now. Now, what I'm going to do, this 5 metre by 5 metre box has got to fit everything in. It's got to fit in storage place for stuff, a lot of storage space. Being of your age, you've probably got lots of bits and pieces that you want to need to be put out of the way so you can do different tasks. Somewhere to sleep, and it's going to have an ensuite, shower and toilet area. So, how can we do that? Well, I think the first thing I'll do is I'll look at one, two, three, four, five. It's about 1.6 metres. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to draw a line down there. Okay, so what I've done, I've created a division where I'm going to add other elements into here. Now this is an internal wall, so I'm going to make that only 3mm thick, because that will be made out of what's called 2x3 timbers and plasterboard. Right, so I've got internal wall, external wall, which is thicker. I've got an area here I can play with and an area here I can play with. Now as I go around here, I'm going to put a window in there. So I'm going to put that in 2 centimetres up, 60 away from the wall, and we'll make the window 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now this is a room, so it's going to need to have a door going into it. So I'm going to put a door in over here. I'm just going to lift that up roughly 5mm, so 15 centimetres, or sorry, yeah, 15 centimetres. And then put a door in place. And the door I'm going to make 2.5. That gives us a solid in. And then I want this area here to be bathroom and storage area. So I'm just going to go to here. through there, and then increase the thickness of that. Okay, cool. Now this is a bathroom, so I need to put a door in the bathroom as well, and I think I'll move that door over to here. Bathroom store cupboard just here, or wardrobe, walk-in wardrobe, which is a nice feature to have. Okay, that's cool. So I've got a window, I've got a door, I've got 1, 2, 3 rooms all together as part of this. Now I'm just going to darken that off so you can see it more clearly. Now we have to remember that this would most likely be part of a building, therefore some of these walls that we are getting in place here will be shared walls with another room. Yeah, what I'm using now, guys, is just a simple black colouring pencil. Gives me a nice old line, I think. I'm not saying you have to do that, you can just go a bit harder on your pencil and then use your eraser to clean it up a bit. This is probably a bit thick as well for this type of drawing, but it should show up well on the camera. Okay, so now we have what you've possibly seen before as a classic plan layout of a room area. Now what we're going to do now is add some details to this, and I think we are probably going to put in the door. Okay, compass. Now any compass will do. Compasses just help this particular stage. And what I'm going to do with the compass is I'm going to place the compass on the gap between the door. Now all doors open inwards, so I'm going to put in a curve coming round there, opening inwards. I'm then going to go over to here and then put in the same over here, curve coming inwards, and the same here. And notice I'm making the doors open into a space where they're causing the less obstruction to the room, so they're open into the adjacent wall. Now this is pretty much how you do doors, and the next thing you do is you use your ruler and you put in a line at about 45 degrees, which gives you the angle of the doors. Which is cool. Now, we've got doors in place, we've got windows to do next. Now, windows are often the same, they can be the same as the wall thickness, okay, but I find it's quite good to offset them a little bit inwards. So I'm going to draw a line here, and then draw a line here. And the most common symbol for windows is this, where we have a cross in the centre of the rectangle that represents it. So this gives us the window symbol. Okay, so far so good. And what you can do is you can fix things up on this. So I can shorten a bit of those if I want to, make it look prettier. I could rub this out and redo that again very quickly. Like so. Yeah, all sorts of things we can do. Right, so that's given us a basic room. We've got bathroom, storage area, walk-in wardrobe, living space. And what I want us to play with now is the idea of the living space and how we're going to make that living space work.